All right. It says I'm live now. There's a little bit of a delay, I think, in YouTube's, letting me know I'm live. So, yeah, hello. I haven't seen you in forever. Oh my goodness. Setup is a little bit different this week. I'm trying to attack the lag that everybody's seeing on replay. So I'm using a different camera. I'm back to my old camera, and we're still using the new mic. So I'm hoping that this will be good for now. I'm always trying to improve. So and I still have to figure out how in the world I'm going to get people on my stream now, because YouTube has now killed the streaming situation that I was using for having people on for chat. So, yeah, that's a thing, but that's not why you're here. You're here because it's time to talk about what's happening in the community with the community. You know, I think that the subscriber is left out of that conversation a lot. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about it. But before we do, I want to say hello to the people that are here in the collective brain of makeup awesomeness. Also known as the people that are here in live chat. I do have I do have the computer quite far away from me so that I can get this angle. So I may have to lean in to see. I do have my contacts in, but your girl's vision isn't the best. All right, so let's see. Crystal Lynn is here. Good morning to you. Kayla is here. Good morning. Good morning to Karen. Happy Sunday to you. Jana, so happy to be back. Our vacation was good. I'm wearing my Mystic Pizza shirt. Oh my goodness, if you've never seen Mystic Pizza with Julia Roberts, it's a rom-com from the 80s. Is it fabulous? It's, it was part of my young adult and child life. So I had it on my bucket list. I wanted to eat at Mystic Pizza. And it was delish. So, yeah, that was one thing I got to do on my vacation. That part was super fab. And yes, pineapple on pizza is my thing. That's what I do. Pretty much every time I order pizza, there's pineapple on it. All right. So anyway, let's see. Sorry, I'm squinting because the computer's so far away from me and the print is so small. Shirley, my friend, is here. Hello. I've missed you too, my friend Shirley. Heather is here, and Kelsey, and Pink Hornet is here. Mia is here. Thank you so much. I'm doing well, Pink Hornet. Thank you. April is here, and Banshee Muse in the house. Mezza's gonna stop packing for camping and sit and watch this instead. Or you could listen. You could listen and pack at the same time. You could. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and stop there. But if I didn't say good morning to you, good morning to you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I see our moderator, Steph, is here. I'm sure the rest of our wrench wenches, our moderators, are in the house, going to help us have a nice, peaceful chat today. Okay, so first, I want to thank my friend Nancy. I do want to let you know. My friend Nancy, who I met through YouTube. She's one of my subscribers and has become one of my friends. She sent me this really beautiful mug. It says, "You are the friend everyone wishes they had." And I got a little choked up and teary-eyed when I opened this. So thank you, Nancy, for sending this to me. I love you dearly. Okay, so I am going to be getting ready while we're doing this, but I want to start talking because we are, 3 minutes in and I haven't even talked about the topic yet. So the first thing I want to talk about really isn't, I broke up with James Charles, meaning I unfollowed him, and he unfollowed me, and we are no longer internet acquaintances, I guess. So that's a thing. And the reason why is, before I tell you the reason why, She Knows is a company. It's an indie company. They sent me this 24 karat elixir serum primer. There's a little bit of hokey, claims on here about the gold and everything, but it does have aloe juice, and it does have some glycerin, sodium hyaluronate, got some papaya extract, pineapple extract. So, I don't know. We're going to try it. We're going to see how it goes, but it's not a typical primer serum. So I really wanted to try it. There are some gold flakes in here. They're just for pretty. They're not, going to give you any skin benefit. So if you did not see the whole thing about James and the national anthem situation, that was the reason that it kind of pushed me over the edge with him. He's been known to steal makeup looks in the past. And it's like, who really creates anything? I always kept making excuses in my head. When you really like somebody, and you always want to make excuses in your head for them because, you really like them and you don't want to think bad things. And it takes a lot for me to break up with somebody on the internet. It takes a lot. This is already dry on my face, by the way. It's a little bit tacky right now. I'll let you know how it goes. it takes a lot for me to break up with somebody on the internet. I give them chances and chances and chances. Not that he was trying. I mean, I'm not saying he cares, because he doesn't, I'm sure. But, I felt like in my mind, I was trying to, give him chances. He's young, he makes dumb mistakes. Yeah. But then he straight up stole a national anthem arrangement from these three sisters who uploaded it 8 years ago, and then they uploaded like a tutorial to it a year ago. And he said, I wrote it down so that I don't forget. He put up you can see it all. T by Allie did a fantastic video on it. And I know, when you hear T by Allie, you hear a T channel, you're thinking it's going to be just gossip or whatever. Like, she really laid it all out very nicely. But he called it My National Anthem Arrangement in his original Instagram post that he supposedly wrote, like that's a word. He supposedly wrote at, what did he say, 4 to 5 o'clock in the morning, and then forgot he did it. Okay, honestly, you got to tell me honestly, and I'm going to read the comments and see. Have you ever done something completely sober, never, nothing impacting you, you're just sleepy at 3, 4 in the morning, and then completely forgot you did it? Maybe I left, the chicken on the counter, or, something. You don't compose a 3-part harmony at 4 o'clock in the morning and then forget that you did it. That's not a thing. That's not real. That's a lie. Unless he has some kind of, and I'm not saying this to joke, this is not a joke, unless he has some kind of thing going on mentally that he needs to go to a doctor for. That there's something going on in the brain that's making you forget things. Like, that might be a serious medical condition. Or he's just lying. Because that's not a real thing. And then he calls it My National Anthem. I quoted it. I wrote it down. I don't want to say it wrong. My National Anthem Arrangement. You can tell he's kind of being careful with it in the beginning. If you listen to it with like hindsight perspective, he's kind of being careful not to do it. But then he does call it My National Anthem Arrangement. It wasn't his. It belonged to somebody else. He comes back on later on Instagram stories, which of course disappear within 24 hours, and admits that he took it from them, that has been inspired by them for a long time. He's always wanted to do this arrangement. That really bothered me. That really, really, really bothered me, because it is lie after lie and theft and, just taking from someone that isn't as famous as you, using what they worked hard and created. I mean, he's been doing it forever, but for some reason in my brain, I kept trying to make excuses. So I'm done. So I unfollowed him, and then I kind of tweeted something. It wasn't super mean. Kind of tweeted something, and then he unfollowed me, but he didn't block me, and I didn't block him. And I'm glad he didn't block me, because I do want to keep following what he's doing. I've just lost respect for him as a person. And that's kind of the way I feel about it. So let's see what the community's saying. I'm going to scroll up a little bit. Deanna. Hi, Deanna. How are you? Deanna's been around forever. There's definitely something off with that kid. He's never held accountable because of his dumb, immature fans who don't know better. I don't like to call his fans dumb and immature. I think, forgiving. I'm going to move on to foundation. This is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Foundation in the shade Light Neutral. Yes. And I've been really enjoying this. It's a nice medium coverage. It gives a beautiful finish. Tarte did send this to me, and I told them specifically, please don't send me anything that's been out for a while, and they sent this to me anyway. And I'm really liking it. So I'm actually, I'm actually kind of thankful they sent it to me. Hold on. Let me just put this on, and then we'll go back talking. Okay. I don't have a lot of steps in my routine today on purpose because I wanted to chat mostly. Molly. Hi, Molly. I don't buy it. Seems like more of a narcissistic behavior. I think he's just, this is the thing. When I first met James, it was pre-CoverGirl. I've told this story before. It was pre-CoverGirl, and he was very upset. I'm going to try to move my face toward them. Like, he was very upset because someone had treated him like he was nothing. I was with Sanders Kennedy, and we were walking around, and Sanders introduced me to him. It was right after the ring light photo blew up, and he tried to talk to someone that was a bigger influencer, and he felt like that person treated him like he was nothing. And I feel like he's forgotten that kid completely. And it just, It's very sad. And I think he also knows that you can be an absolutely cruddy human being. And because you're a cruddy human being, you can do very well in this world. There's a lot of people like that who have done horrible things and are very, very successful for it. But what it comes down to is how happy are you? How happy are you? You can live in a multi-million-dollar mansion. I'm not just talking about James, but in general. A person can live in a multi-million-dollar mansion, have everything they ever wanted, a Tesla, handbags, whatever that person wants, shoes, everything you could ever want, and still be completely miserable because they're a cruddy human. Because you don't have genuine relationships, maybe because you've backstabbed people, or, you only use people for what they can give you, or your regular friendships are really shallow because all you're focused on is furthering yourself. There are people who are wealthy that can be very happy, but I don't know. I feel like this is the Ulta eye primer. I feel like when you treat people that way, and that's who you are, you're most likely going to have trouble finding genuine relationships and genuine happiness. And I'm hoping one day the flip switches, switch flips, and he realizes that, money can only buy things. It can buy you security. It can buy you, bragging rights. It can buy you clout. It can buy you people looking up to you, admiring you, but it can't buy you genuine relationships. You have to be a good person in order to have genuine relationships. So, that's what I'm saying. See what you all are saying. Okay. Sorry, I'm having trouble reading because it's so far away. I wonder if there's a way to make this a little larger. Probably not. Nope. Okay. I'm going to move this up just a little bit because I'm really having trouble reading because it's so far away. Move it just a little bit. Hopefully that didn't mess up the angle too much. Sorry. I want to get it right because there's an R and an N next to me. Fern says, I think that's a very good story and it is very true. He does forget and he gets away with things so often. If he wasn't rich, etc., in real life without the public eye, he would never get away with this. Yeah, I think less people would care. I think less people would care, but I don't know. People that don't have money get away with stuff all the time too, Sorry, I'm umming so much. So that's my James story. That's how I feel, and I'm sad. I'm sad about it genuinely because when you're really rooting for somebody and you're like hoping that everything's going to be okay. There's a lot of people I kind of do that with. It takes a lot for me to break up with somebody on the internet. There's very few people. I can count on my both, maybe even one hand. This is the Beauty Bakery flour setting powder. Maybe I can count on one hand how many people I feel like that about on all of YouTube. Oh, what I forgot to bring up here? I hope my husband's listening. I wanted to grab my clock at the house that Rich and Jen sent me and just show that to you. So if my husband's listening, maybe he'll bring it to me. If not, I will go run down and grab it. Sometimes he listens to the chat to see if I need anything. Hopefully he's listening. He might have checked out, though, because he had stuff to do today. All right. So that was one thing I wanted to chat about. Let's see. How many minutes are we in? We're 13 minutes in. Cool. Oh, Michelle's here. Command plus will zoom. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's a good idea. Let's see. Oh, yay. Thank you, Michelle. I forgot about that. Yay. Oh, now it's zooming too much. No, unzoom. Michelle, you're the best. I forgot about that. Thank you. Yay. Oh, I love you guys. Okay, so. Yeah, Susan says, how do you think poor Tati feels? She supported him so much. I always felt bad for that part and all the drama. Yeah. Thank you, my love. I was hoping you were listening. I do want to thank Jen and Rich for sending me setting sprays. I can tell you about them. You guys know I don't use setting sprays. Thank you, babe. You're the best. I don't use setting sprays because I don't like to spray things on my face, but I do want to tell you about these because it was very kind of them to send these to me. This ridiculous picture of Rich. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. like how do you even set this up? And like, he's like sitting in this. How do you take him seriously? You just don't, because he's rich. So anyway, there's that. And then these are these setting sprays. You get the 2 big ones that are his, and then you get a smaller one that's the original. And I will tell you, the scents do smell very good. The ingredient list, it's a setting spray. So it's hard to make a setting spray that's good for your skin. And these are no different. There is denatured alcohol in these, so maybe use them sparingly. Second ingredient is denatured alcohol. They do smell really good. I haven't sprayed them through the sprayer yet, but I smell them like this. It smells really good. It smells like a creamsicle. And then this one does smell like chocolate mint. It really does. Oh, it smells so good. So good. Okay. But, you know, not good skincare, but it does look like these would probably work very well for setting sprays. And you do have the alcohol, you do have dimethicone, which is going to help your makeup to stay on longer. So, I mean, the ingredients look good for working, but not good skincare. So that's how I feel about it. But I do want to thank Rich and Jen for sending to me. That was really, really kind of them. Okay, so let's move on to another thing that I want to show you. I purchased the Jackie Aina palettes by Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is what it looks like on the inside. I haven't put a picture on Instagram yet. I am planning on doing that. Jackie's got a lot of stuff going on in her life right now. She was just recently became engaged. It was her birthday. Her palette came out. God knows what else that she hasn't told us about yet. Oh, I forgot to do brows. Let me do brows before I do that. There is a little bit of controversy about one of the shades in here. I did put a post up on Twitter. And there was a little bit of discussion on the shade Wiggalese. Wiggalese in here. Now, Jackie in her video, she talks about how Wiggalese is like a play on legalese, which is, you know, legal language, like complicated legal language, but for wigs. So I guess, let me see. Let me switch this over to magnified. So I can see how that could be a real thing. You know, there's wig language that I don't understand. Like, I still don't really know what edges are. Like, really. Like, how sad is that? Like, I should educate myself and know what these things are. But I don't wear wigs, so I just don't know. It's not part of my vocabulary. So Wiggalese would be like complicated wig language that I don't know. I know it has something to do with the way that it lays on your head and like the edge of your hair somehow, but I don't know. I'm terrible. I know. There's this, you know what you know and what you don't know is a lot, right? And Peter Mon says something like that to that effect. But the controversy is that there is a word that actually I haven't really heard much since I was in middle school. And I was in middle school in the early 90s. And that's the word wigga or wigger. There was a group of boys that they called the wiggers. And the root is in the N word, but for white people. So the idea is that you have a white person who is trying to adopt like a rap culture, which is traditionally a black culture, and bringing it into, you know, and acting that way. It's not seen as a compliment. So I guess the interpretation that way, if that were what was meant by the name, would be, you know, the words, the complicated words that those people use, I guess. That doesn't really fit though, because I wouldn't say, unless they're using like words incorrectly because they're being ignorant, I guess. I don't know. I'm leaning toward that it's not meant to be based on that word. I don't think that's a thing. I don't think that that's real. I know Jackie has done some questionable things in the past as far as her feelings toward white people. She's done some things, you know, said some things that makes you believe that it's possible she's had some very negative experiences with some white people in her life. I've had some negative experiences with some white people in my life too. I mean, I don't know. It's just, it's complicated, you know, it's complicated. And, you know, I try to, like I said, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. And at this point, I am thinking, I believe, you know, in my mind, I'm believing that it's possible she's telling some kind of like private joke about that word, but I have no proof of that. I have no evidence of that. And, I can only go by what I know to be a fact. And I know that Jackie said that it has to do with wigs. I feel that it could genuinely be about wigs. So I'm going to go with that. And I'm not going to accuse somebody of having an intention when I have no evidence that that was the intention. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that that's right when we don't have the evidence to support it. That's just kind of where I'm saying, oh, the chat is frozen. Fabulous. Oh, no, there it is. Yay, it came back. Okay. Tab says, I think Jackie's just talking about wigs. I think too. Jackie Aina. Yeah, Aina's her last name, Aina. Banshee Muse is not a fan of Jackie. She's not going to support her. I mean, you have to decide who you're... Oh, I forgot to do concealer. I was going to use the Flower Beauty concealer and I completely forgot. I guess I don't need concealer today. That's just the way that it is. You have to decide for your own individual self. And I think, that's important, not to push our own thoughts. I mean, I'm just telling you my thoughts. You have to decide, what you want to do. Oh, okay. Katie says she named her white shade Trust Issues. Well, it's white and sparkly. So, I mean, okay, I can kind of see that. But again, it's like, it could also mean so many other things. It's like, it's not enough evidence for me. Like, it's just, maybe I'm naive. Maybe I'm just, it's not enough evidence for me. I don't know. Oh, supposedly Georgia Harris is here. Hello, Georgia Harris. Definitely check out Georgia Harris's YouTube channel if you run into it. Or you can search for it. Oh, Mama Goonie is here. She says, if someone has to explain it, it may not be appropriate. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we have to explain lots of things in life. I don't know. Yeah, Carrie says, watch Petty Page's most recent video on Jackie. She breaks down why some of Jackie's behavior is actually negative for people of color. I'll have to watch that. I have not seen that. Happy G says, when I was in school, it was Wiggalese as a play on the N-word, very offensive, and I read the name that way and it was very uncomfortable. And I can see that. And you have to take your own personal take on it and take it the way that you feel is appropriate for you. I'm not taking offense to it. I don't find it offensive. And even when that word was used, I'm looking at the wrong camera because I'm just using it. Even when that word was used at my middle school, it wasn't like they didn't care. Like, the kids that were being called that didn't care. Like, that was just part of their identity, and who they were. Like, they were white kids who liked rap, and they wore their pants rolled down low and, long baggy shirts and all of that. So, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like there isn't enough evidence to support it for me personally, but you have to decide your own thing. Oh, Goof-Proof Brow Pencil. Yes. Mons. Yes. Goof-Proof Brow Pencil. I forgot to mention that. Yes. All right. Let's go into, I'm going to do a really light look today. So I'm just going to use the shade Ginger with the ABH brush. I'm not going to use a lot of this because I want to show you some other shadows that I have. Let me go ahead and skip down. These ABH brushes are so pokey. Do you find that, like, with ABH? These brushes that come with... I can't even use this. It does not feel good. I don't like it. Where's my Sigma? Sigma E40, come to the rescue. Okay. Yeah. Jessica says, the only issue I see is what would Jackie say if the shoe was on the other foot and she came out and Jeffree named a black shade Trust Issues. But I forget what Jackie said in the video about why that's called Trust Issues. It's a glittery, it's actually yellow. It's actually not white. It's yellow. It looks white in the pan, but it's yellow. So, I mean, to me, this is glittery yellow, and it has to do with, I don't know. I think she was saying, I don't know. I don't want to misquote. I don't want to say it wrong, so I'm not going to say what she was saying because I don't remember, and I'm not going to say it misquote. But I don't know. I can see what you're saying. know. It just, I don't know. I have to look into that one a little bit more before I can fully respond to that because I don't have all the information in my head. But it is yellow, just for the record. It's not white. So I don't know. It looks white in the pan though, so I can see the argument there. Lee says it's straight up old-fashioned racism. I don't know about that. I mean, I know somebody that when they were in high school, middle school, high school, somewhere in there, that they were a white boy and they went to a predominantly black school and they were beaten up on the regular for being white, called many, many names specifically to being white and beaten up. That's racism. From my understanding. If I'm wrong, you can feel free to correct me. It's like, I don't know. That's kind of what I have to say about that. I don't know. So systematic. Kayla says it's not racism. Racism requires systematic discrimination. Let's Google it real quick while we're here. Let's Google it. And let's see what the dictionary says the definition is. Prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism directed against someone of a different race based on the belief that one's own race is superior. The belief that all members of each race possess characteristics or abilities specific to that race, especially so as to distinguish it as inferior or superior to another race or races. So does naming an eyeshadow a specific name fit that definition? Or would it be more ignorance? Would it be more, what's the word I'm looking for? Would it be bigotry? There you go. Joan said it before. We still, same time, bigotry. So I don't know. You have to decide. I am saying for me personally, no. But you have to decide. All right, so, and how am I blended? Let me zoom it out here. Am I blended? Because I know that my community is very passionate about this, so that's why I wanted to talk about it. All right, I want to show you guys a couple of eyeshadows, lighten up the mood a little bit. So, John says you're confusing racism with bigotry. Okay, so let's look up bigotry. And then we'll lighten the mood a little bit because this is getting heavy. Intolerance toward those who hold different opinions from oneself. Intolerance toward those who hold different opinions from oneself. I feel like that's incomplete. I feel like isn't it more than that? I feel like it should be, there's more to that word than that. Obstinate or intolerant devotion to one's own opinions and prejudices, the state of mind of a bigot, act or belief characteristics of a bigot. See, it's like it's not really helping. I hate these. I guess it's the opposite of tolerance is bigotry. See, we're having a vocabulary lesson. Did we expect that? Let's go back into makeup for a bit. All right. Judy says, it's just an eyeshadow color. Who really cares? This has become boring and I just want to see you apply it. If you don't want to watch, Judy, that's fine. And I get you. And there are a lot of people that care. So I get you, but, I'm just going to stop. All right. So we have a couple of eyeshadows by Tarte. They did send these in PR. This is called Wild at Heart and this is called Paradise Found. Let me see if I can show you. They did come. It seems like people are getting them and they're not busted. Mine pretty much all came shattered. Like, I don't know if they're supposed to be like that. They kind of remind me of the L'Oreal pigments. By the way, if you came to live chat just to hear about makeup, I'm not really doing that anymore. There's going to be lots of videos on just makeup that you can feel free to tune into. But live chat is not really going to be just about makeup anymore. So if that's not your bag, I totally get it. No problem. You can feel free to not watch, and that's okay. And I'm sorry if that disappoints you. I am. But, I think it's interesting to go beyond makeup. I don't think that just talking about makeup is something that I really want to do all the time. I want to talk about other things because I like talking about things that are a little more in depth and a little more interesting than just colors. That's just me. So, but if you don't dig that, I totally get it. Totally get it. Okay, so these are the two shades. They're really pretty. This one right here, this one is a duochrome. It's like a blue to pink shift duochrome. This one called Wild at Heart. It's absolutely beautiful. And then the other one is like a peach. It's just straight peach, very, very shimmery peach. I think I'm going to use, I kind of want to use the duochrome one, but it doesn't really match what I'm trying to do. So we're just going to go ahead and use the peach one, and I'm just going to use my fingertip to apply that. Margot says, I love talking with this community about things I'm passionate about. Me too. Me too. These eyeshadows are so stinking overpriced, though. Like, I think that they're absolutely beautiful, but they're just really overpriced. I hate to say it, but I don't like spending more than, you know, my max for a single eyeshadow is like $10. I feel like anything more than that is kind of insane. Okay. Mama Goodney says, I admire you touching on touchy subjects. I think it's important we talk about it because I feel like we get afraid to talk about things like race relations, talking about, you know, controversial things. And I think that's when we end up not getting anybody learning anything. And I am not someone that knows everything. I am definitely things I don't understand and things I don't get. But I think it's important we talk about it. Because if we just keep pushing things under the rug, we will never evolve. You know, it's people are so scared to talk about things. You know, let's not be scared. Let's just confront it head on so we can learn and be better. You know, that's the way that I feel about it. All right, so the other shade I wanted to show you is by Sydney Grace. I don't know if it's going to match what I'm doing either, but it's called Comforting Light, and it's a loose pigment. It's really pretty. Look at this. I think it's purple, though, which isn't what I was trying to do. I was going to do this. Yeah, it's not going to match what I was trying to do, and I'm not trying to waste a bunch of product. Let me see if I can get enough picked up on my finger to show you. It's a loose pigment, so it's kind of going on a little patchy. Oh, Lorelei. I'm going to say Lorelei. It's called Trust Issues because it's one color in the pan and another when you swatch it. This is why I have trust issues. That's right. Thank you, Lorelei. That's what it was. I knew I was missing something. Thank you. Exactly, because it's white in the pan, you swatch it and it's yellow. Yes, thank you for adding that to the story. I appreciate you so much because I just couldn't remember. So I think if I pulled more product out of the, well, let's pull it out because I want to swatch it for real for you. And I know Sydney Grace will probably want me to swatch it for real for you. It's a little chunky, the powder in here. It's really not swatching well. I haven't used this on the eyes yet. And I'm actually a bit skeptical about this formula now. I'm not really sure. I don't know. It's not, let me hold it up so you can actually see without me moving. It's really chunky. So I would imagine this would be, because I haven't put on my eyes, more of like kind of a topper kind of shade kind of situation. Okay, I'm a mess. And do I have a towel? I do. Yay. Okay, so let me tell you that behind the scenes, what's up in makeup secret. So I use these like beat up towel. I don't even know why it looks like this. I use a towel. Have I told you this before? A washcloth as a mark when I film What's Up in Makeup, so I make sure I stand in the same place every time. So that's why I'm always pulling a towel off the floor because I just use a clean towel every week, and then I use this for my makeup during the week, and then at the end of the week, I get rid of it, and then I get a new one. So that's what's happening there. All right. I don't have anything else. I want to deepen the look up a little bit, so I'm going to go back into the Jackie Aina palette, and let's do a little bit. Let's use, I don't want that brush. This brush, it's dirty though. This is a Smith 247, and I just want to go a little bit into credit, just to deepen up my outer corner a bit, because I am not liking how messy this looks. I got to flip again. Lorelei, thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate it, because that's really important to the story. Okay. Tina says, welcome back. Thank you so much. Okay, Gigi says, everyone has so much drama nowadays, so instead of being too invested in someone, I now see them as entertainment. And I think that's a way to kind of protect ourselves from getting too attached to these strangers on the internet. You know, like, I think, you know, it's easy to invest in strangers on the internet and you feel like you know them. I feel like that with some of my subscribers, where I've had some subscribers leave me and publicly, you know, say they were upset with me for one thing or another. You know, I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes. And I do, you know, understand why they left. But I was so upset, you know, that they told me they were going to unsubscribe, and I haven't seen them since. And I'm sad that they were disappointed in things that I've done. And I'm sad that I did those things, you know, but you can't go back in time. But the thing about, you know, somebody that you just watch on the internet, one thing to remember is, you know, you're seeing most of the time an edited version of somebody, even like a Snapchat or an Instagram story. Like, even though it seems like it's, you know, who they are, they can still delete and re-record. It's still edited. You know, YouTube videos are edited for you to see, you know, what the person wants you to see. So the only time you see something in a video that people don't want you to see, or that you realize later was bad, is when that person didn't realize it was bad at the time. If somebody knows it's bad at the time and they know they're going to get backlash for it, for the most part, unless they're specifically trying to stir up drama, they're not going to show you that side of them. So you're getting a very filtered version of people online, and I think it's important to remember that as we're getting attached to influencers and anybody online, you know, anybody at all that we don't know in person and see on a daily basis. I mean, that's just, you know, that's just the way that it is. But I think it's hard sometimes because you do want to believe in people. It's hard to, you know, when also you don't want to make assumptions too. You don't want to make assumptions that a person is a certain way without any evidence of it. So, speaking of that, I did want to talk about Jeffree for a bit. Oh, Nikita. What are your feelings on Nikita Dragon's recent behavior, Jen? I can talk about Nikita, and then I'll talk about Jeffree. I see. I'm just talking about all kinds of people, but I think, you know, when we talk about it as a community, I think it's look at me. I'm like the Tin Man over here. When we talk about things as a community, I feel like it adds clarity to the conversation. It adds, you know, like perspective. And I think that that's fun, you know, to not fun. Fun's not the right word. I think that that's, you know, helpful to everybody to have a real conversation about it. With Nikita, you know, I mean, I'll just say every time that I've met Nikita, she has been less than friendly. Not that she's been rude to me in any way, but, you know, just giving off the celebrity vibe. Let's just say that. I don't know her. Can I say I'm not surprised? But I mean, I have nothing against Nikita personally. I don't know Nikita, but I'm not surprised. I mean, she's kind of presented herself as that kind of person for a very long time, so I'm just not surprised. What is surprising me, though, is Jeffree's behavior recently. People are so multifaceted. You know, Jeffree is either doing extremely good PR and he's still a cruddy human, or he's actually trying to do good in the world. I don't know if you know, heard about this. I didn't watch the video, but he's doing the, was it Clear the List? The teacher, donating to teachers for their classrooms. He's donating all of his proceeds for his Morphe code to charity. He doesn't need any more things, and he knows this. But there are a lot of rich people that don't do the things that he's doing now. Does this excuse his behavior of the past? Absolutely not. But it adds another layer to the story. It adds another dimension that he's choosing to be aware of the needs of other people and try to help. When there was the Pulse nightclub shooting, he donated a bunch of money to them, which, you know, yeah, I get that. But I saw that as more like it was probably, you don't know why somebody's motivation. I was like, that might have just been a PR move, maybe. You know, he's done some really awful things that are horrible. I don't know. Forgive is not a good word because I don't know him well enough to even forgive him for anything. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't know like him like that to like forgive somebody for something, but I feel like it adds another layer to who he is as a person, that he makes the conscious choice to take money and give to people. And not everybody does that. So I just wanted to say that as well, as far as a positive. Linda says, OMG, what must this man do to clear his name? Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think he's ever going to be able to clear his name. That's the thing. People, like I said, people are multifaceted. You have to take everything as layers of a human. And I think that's what we have trouble doing as people. We want to categorize people as either good people or bad people. And that just, for the most part, doesn't really exist. I mean, there's levels of it. I mean, you've met people, and I know I've met people. They're just really good people. You meet them, they're kind, they're giving. They've never done anything. Jesse's Real Liquid Eyeliner. They've never done like anything malicious to anybody. They're just really, really good people. Always thinking of others. And then there's evil people, really bad people, you know, murderers, things like that. But the vast majority of people are somewhere in the middle. And I think Jeffree's no different. Is he showing us? He knows better than to show us the things he knows he's going to look bad for. He knows better now. He's got better self-control. Are those things still there? Are those racist, you know, I'm going to put my air quotes, racist things still there within him? We don't know, because he's not showing us that side, right? But they could still be there. It's possible. He, at least at one point, did have a lot of these really negative things. I just, you know, what I'm saying is that he's added a layer. What? Oh, I just got a text message. My son getting invited on a play date. I will respond to them in a minute. It added a positive layer that he's doing all of these things that he just really doesn't have to do. I don't think clearing his name is something that he'll ever be able to do, because that would mean he's one of those people that's like those angelic people that you seem to meet sometimes that are, I'm not one of them, that is always just so kind, you know? I don't think he's ever going to be that, because I don't think he is that, and there's nothing wrong with that. He seems to have learned from his mistakes, but was the learning actually not to be racist, or was the learning not to share it? We don't know. We just don't know. There's so much we just don't know. Katri says, I think Jeffree has learned and grown up and now trying to atone for what he did wrong in the past. Maybe, but see, atonement makes me think, when I hear that word atonement, I think, is this person only doing it to atone for their past? Or are they doing it because they genuinely want to help? I lean to think that he genuinely wants to help. That's where I'm leaning. So I don't know. Kara says, we hear something negative and we don't question it. We just paint him as the bad guy, but he does something truly positive and people speculate on his motives. Seems unfair. I think it depends on what it is. You know, I do. I think it depends on what it is. This is the Tarte Big Ego mascara. I see what you're saying, but I think a heavy level of skepticism is good. And because, you know, he blocked me on Twitter. I can't even follow him on Twitter because he blocked me. But, you know, because we're not friends, it's hard to know what's really going on. And I think a healthy level of skepticism is fine in those kinds of situations. You know, because in the end, does it really matter whether I'm a Jeffree Star fan or not? No, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I mean, it was very, very recently that he, you know, allegedly called Jackie Aina a gorilla. That was not that long ago. And that's horrible. That's flipping horrible. Like, that is next level evil. Like, not evil. Like, evil may be strong, but ignorance, disgusting. That was not that long ago. He goes off on fans. You know, he's gone off on fans and you know, spoken horribly to people who buy his stuff. And I don't believe that has gone out of him. I don't believe that. But like I said, people are multifaceted. And they're layered. So, I don't think we should put people in categories of good and bad, canceled and not canceled. I lost it. It says something, I missed who it was. White people are so quick to forgive Jeffree when his actions don't affect them. I don't agree that it doesn't affect. I agree it doesn't affect in the same way. I can still be horrified and have an effect, even though it is completely different than the effect it would have on a person of color. It did have an effect on me. So I don't think that that's fair. That's my thought. Tina says, I wonder how long Rich Lux will stay friends with Jeffree Star before that implodes. I don't know. I mean, I think that Jeffree and Rich do have quite a bit in common in that they both love their luxury stuff. I do think that Jeffree, whether he is only friends with Rich for the benefit to him or not, I don't know. But there is a benefit to being friends with Rich. That's a fact. Being friends with Rich Lux means that Rich is probably going to talk more positively about you and be more hesitant to say something negative. And Rich has a lot of power. His channel isn't huge, but Rich has a lot of influence over the way people think about other influencers. But the fact, Jeffree's really smart. If he's just playing Rich, which is possible, whether it's true or not, I don't know. That's really smart. It's really smart. But we have no evidence that he is. He could genuinely like Rich, because they do have a lot in common. I hope he's not just playing him. I hope not. But it's possible. One thing I did respect, though, that I thought was really cool was that when Jeffree was talking about his Morphe collab, he let Rich announce it on his channel. He didn't have to do that. Like, that was really nice of him to do. That was really nice. He didn't have to do that. But what was the motivation behind it? We just don't know. You know? Susan says being friends with Jeffree has helped Rich. But has it? Has it really helped Rich, being friends with Jeffree? Really and truly, has it? I don't know if it has. I mean, his numbers aren't skyrocketing. I don't know. All right, my chat's frozen for a second. Terracotta Kim says J Star is. They think that she thinks that J Star is playing Rich. We'll see in a while for sure. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. Alice says, "Wow, Jen, your facts aren't straight here. If you could tell me what the facts are, I'd be happy to go off of that. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I don't know everything. So." Carrie says, would one apply that to Jen as well then? I don't know what we're talking about. Margot says, racism does affect and offend everybody. I apologize for white people offending people of color because that is an unacceptable behavior. Okay. I mean, it is absolutely an unacceptable behavior. Okay. Yeah. Ivy says, I think Jeffree Star is a smart businessman who knows how to navigate social media like a Kardashian. I totally agree with that. Absolutely. Abso-stinking-lutely. All right. How far in the chat? Oh my gosh, only 10 minutes left. I haven't done my face yet. Oh my gosh. Okay. So let's see. Where are we at? Okay. Let's do. I was going to put lashes on. Nikita Joy sent me a bunch of products. I tried these lashes. I have them stuck to the top. That's so gross. Nikita Joy Cosmetics. She's a YouTuber, if you do not know. And I wore these lashes for What's Up in Makeup today, and they were so easy to apply in that the band was very easy. Like, it took me like one shot. You can see the getting ready with me. It's linked on whatsupinmakeup.com or in the video description of What's Up in Makeup today. You can see how easy they were to apply, and they looked absolutely beautiful. I really, really like them. I've only tried them the one time, just the one set of lashes, but really enjoyed them and wanted to make sure I mentioned that she did send those, and I did really like them from first impression. All right, we're going to go into the Milani Make It Glow palette here, and we're going to do a little bit of blush. We're going to do a little bit of highlights. Okay. All right, we're just going to use this stippling brush from Luxie. Let's go over into the warmer side over here. I like it that it's got kind of a, like a peachy, like you got some pink. You got a bunch of different tones here to play with. I feel like I'm always doing the same like warm eye on chat all the time, but it matches my shirt. So, you know, we're going with it. I feel like I'm already highlighting this blush palette. It's kind of a subtle highlight though. It's not too super loud. One thing I do want to mention about just the nature of live chat is that live chat is something that, you know, we talked about how editing, you know, how you can see a filtered version of a person. You have to understand live chat is live. So I may watch this back, like if I was editing it, and be like, oh my gosh, why did I say that? It didn't come out right. So, you know, keep that in mind. I may look back at this and go, oh, I should have said that a different way. This is a different format. So, you know, I don't believe I said anything like that at this point, but watching back, I may have been like, oh, I could have articulated that better, or I missed this point. So keep that in mind. Oh, Van Dya says Rich has lost subscribers because he gets accused of being on payroll. I did not know that. I did not know that. Supposedly, there's still an audio lag. Lene is saying there should not be an audio lag. I have excellent connection, according to YouTube. I've changed over my camera. I've changed over the software I'm using. So there shouldn't be a lag, but I'm going to have, yeah, Heather says her mouth isn't matching her talking. Do me a favor, go out and come back because it may be your processing speed as well. Hopefully, I mean, or it may be something within YouTube. It may be something within YouTube that I can't control. Shirley says, can we talk about your vacation? What are your plans for your channel this season? What do the kids like most on vacation? Shirley, that's an excellent question. I had a fantastic time on vacation. We traveled, if you did not know, we went to the northeastern part of the United States. We went to Acadia National Park, which was fantastic. We also spent some time over by the Finger Lakes for 4th of July, which was wonderful. And then we worked our way down the coast. We went into Vermont. We did New Hampshire on the way to Maine, and then down through Massachusetts, Connecticut, and then back home. We had a fantastic time. We really, really did. And my kids had a great time. My daughter's favorite part was the Cabot Cheese Factory in Vermont. And my son's favorite part, I don't know what he said his favorite part was. I can't remember what he specifically said his favorite part was. But we all had a really, really good time. My husband's favorite part was Acadia. My favorite part was actually Vermont. I really, really loved the state of Vermont. I loved the people there. Everybody was so kind, and everybody's so green conscious in Vermont, at least the places we went. And I loved that about Vermont, you know, that, I don't know, it just seemed like everybody was thinking about the planet and the environment while we were there. And that was really cool. Because you don't see that everywhere. You just don't. Sydney Grace Liquid Lipstick. This is in the shade Christina. Let's try it. Britt, I will share the live stream setup once I get it solid. Right now, I'm just live streaming through, it's called OBS, which is a free live streaming software, and then through YouTube. And then I've got my mic here. This is a Rode mic. It's an A something. What is it? I don't know. I forget. A something. I think I have it linked in my video description. And then, let's see. Yeah, and then I've got a Logitech webcam. It's the one on Amazon that's like the top rated one. It's like $100, something like that. All right, let's try this. Way too light, I think. Hey, you know what? I'll see how it looks on camera. It's very smooth. I guess this might be a lip gloss because it's very smooth. It feels like a lip gloss. It doesn't feel like a liquid lipstick, but it's very, very pigmented for a lip gloss, if that's what it is. Finger Lakes, where did we stay? Oh gosh, it was a while ago. I can't remember. Seneca, is that one? I think Seneca sounds right. Lisa says she's not seeing a lag. Great. So we probably should not see one on the replay then. Okay. Sorry, I missed things. Okay, so let's, I did want to show you, back to makeup. I wanted to show you, I got the Manny MUA. I want to tell you a couple things because I don't know if I'm going to end up doing a full review of this. I think I'm going to focus on the Jackie palette since it just came out and do a review on that. Shirley was asking what are my plans for the channel. So doing a review on the Jackie Aina palette because that just came out and I think I can get that up fast enough. I don't know if I'm going to do a full review on the Strawberry Dream because I feel like at this point, I don't know if like there's that much interest in it. So I do want to tell you a little bit about Strawberry Dream. I've had very, very good luck with the majority of the shadows. The glitter ones do have fallout through the day, especially Blue Diamond. Really, really hard time with fallout there. I haven't used much of the bottom row yet. So if I was going to do a review, I would have to use more of the bottom row. I've used Storm Cloud quite a bit, though. I've really liked that. But Lightning, especially Blue Diamond, really has a lot of glitter fallout through the day. Like my whole under eyes were covered in it. The scent, and when I first got it, smelled like strawberries and rubbing alcohol. Like it was like they missed it. Like they had almost like pressed it with some kind of alcohol based something to press it with. It messed with the scent of the strawberries. But now when I smell it, it smells more like a fake strawberry scent, like a strawberry lip balm. It doesn't smell like sweet strawberries if you were like actually smelling like a strawberry milkshake or something like that. It's more like a fake strawberry scent, but it does smell like strawberries, which I think is really cool. Overall, the mattes have been wonderful, and these foiled shades up here have been wonderful. And the packaging is really cool. I don't know if you can see this, but it's got this. The moon is raised. I didn't realize that. All of this is raised. It's really, really cool. I've never seen a palette like this. Like, this is beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. So I think he did a fantastic job with the packaging. The shadows, other than the tremendous amount of fallout from Blue Diamond, which I might be able to use glitter glue to fix that. I've had a great time with this and really been enjoying it so far. And yeah, if you're in the market for it, I could probably say at this point, I would probably recommend it. The only thing is the shades might not be for everybody. So really think about whether you would actually use these on your eyeballs because they are a little out there as far as they're not, an everyday palette for a lot of people, even though some people do enjoy wearing shades like this. And yeah, that's my review of Strawberry Dream. Instead of doing a full in-depth review. Oh, and there are pressed pigments in here. So if you are sensitive to pressed pigments on your eyes, because they are not FDA approved for eye use and, they're approved other places, but not here. But if you do have sensitivity to them, just know that it does have pressed pigments in here that are not FDA approved for eye use, like a lot of palettes. But I did get the Lunar Beauty. This is the lip gloss, and I wanted to show it to you. It is absolutely beautiful. Mama Goonie, this was a question that was asked by someone else. Any opinions on the $70 Pat McGrath foundation? I haven't tried it. I haven't looked up reviews. I saw that it exists, but other than that, I really don't have a lot of opinion. But this is beautiful. It's got a little diamond in the top. Like, I can't even imagine how much this component costs. Like, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. Like, I don't know if you can see the diamond in there, but it's like floating in this fog. Like it's incredible looking. The lip gloss, just a lip gloss though, unfortunately. It's just a lip gloss. I do think that this is meant to be a lip gloss, this one that I'm wearing, but I will show you. I have a swatch on my Instagram, but it's just a lip gloss. I mean, it's not sticky. It's not overly heavy. It's, you know, it smells sweet, candy-ish. It's very nice. But it's just a gloss. Don't expect the formula to blow your mind, or the wand is just a paddle dough foot. What's inside is relatively ordinary, but nice. But the packaging is just, it looks like a diamond floating in fog. It's like, what? I have to give him credit there. I have to give him credit. Credit where credit is due. Credit was due. Britt says, the formula was unique for me. It seems thick, but wears longer than a lot of my others. Oh, okay. See, I didn't feel like it felt, I just rubbed it all over my hands because that's productive. I didn't feel like it was really that thick. Oh my gosh, we're already an hour in. I already missed, oh, really? All right, I'm just going to add a little bit of this shade here from Sydney Grace. This is the shade Lacy, just to kind of deepen this up a little bit because I feel like I've done this look on live stream like 90 times. I just want to deepen it up a little bit because I felt like it was a little too light. There you go. All right. Should I use one of the rich setting sprays? R.I.P. my skin. Okay, here we go. Let's use Creamsicle. Girl. Okay. It smells amazing. I don't like the way that feels. I don't like the way it feels, but it smells incredible. All right, I did it. I made it. I did it. But like this side of my face is wet, this side of my face is wet. And that's with like 90% of setting sprays do that to my face and makes me feel like it's a textural thing. It's a textural thing, but it smells amazing. It does. It smells amazing. Okay. All right. So anyway, I gotta go. I feel like, you know, this is the thing. The risk of talking about something like this kind of thing on a live stream is that people aren't going to like what I have to say. People are going to disagree, and that's okay. It's okay to disagree. You know, we're having a conversation. It's just the way that it is. It's what I've decided to do, is talk about things and not be afraid. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of people. I'm not afraid of whatever. I'm just going to be myself, and if you like me, fabulous. If you don't, that's okay too, and I'm okay with that. It's all good. We can disagree. It's totally cool. Tiffany PK, I can't believe you sprayed your face. I can't believe I did either. And it doesn't feel like tacky or anything. Like I can feel it maybe a little bit here, but not much. Like it doesn't feel bad. So Gigi said makeup looks gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. Well, hopefully, you know, you got something out of this. I don't know, like maybe just a different perspective, a different way of thinking about things maybe. I would love to know your thoughts in the comments below after this renders. I feel kind of about today's chat, but you know, if we avoid it, if we don't talk about it, if we don't expand our ideas, we're never going to grow. We can't just keep pushing this stuff under the rug. We have to talk about it, or else we're going to end up being just these ignorant, bubbly blobs who are in our own bubble thinking our own thing and not expanding our minds. And that's why I wanted to talk about these things and just really talk about it, you know. All right, I gotta go. Mad love. I sound like a philosopher or something. I hope you have a great week. I'm going to try next week to do a 5 p.m. chat. I might skip it for next week because I'm nervous about the streaming. It just kind of depends. Keep an eye out on my social channels. Keep an eye out on Twitter and also on YouTube community tab, which you should be, if you're on mobile, you should be getting it on your phone as part of your feed. You should be getting my community things. If for some reason you're not, or you're only on a desktop, you need to go to my channel page and go to community, unfortunately. It'll also be listed at the end of What's Up in Makeup. I always have an end card that tells you when chat is. I also always put it in the video description. So if you're curious about when chat's going to be, you can find it those 4 places. I'm not sure if it's going to be 10 or 5. It just depends on me figuring out my stream and whether I can get somebody to come on for chat. And the most important thing is figuring out the streaming thing. and making sure I can get somebody on and functional for you. So I don't want to invite somebody and have it be a mess. Mad love to you. Have a great week. I'll see you soon. Bye.